and welcome to warrenthornton.com in conjunction with Unprecedented TV and also with No to NATO. It is wonderful to have you here, and also we're joined by Brooker.tv, which is absolutely sensational. If you like what we do in the first hour you like it, come across warrenthornton.com. You're allowed to come on the show. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to have sensible debate, something that poor Charlie Kirk was not allowed to do. I am joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Paul Brooker, looking eloquent as always and elegant as always. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Hello, Warren. I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm still reeling from obviously the biggest news of the last 24 hours. And just for those out there who might not have heard, obviously the wonderful freedom of speech gentleman that is Charlie Kirk has passed away. Unfortunately, he was assassinated, and all our heartfelt sorrow goes out to his family, who I cannot imagine are going through the biggest roller coaster of emotions right now. And all I can say is Charlie, you were a hero to me because you did freedom of speech the right way. You didn't do it the wrong way. So, Charlie, thank you for everything you have done for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll start with Charlie Kirk. We've got tons and tons of stories. So let's tell you what we've got coming up for you in the next couple of hours. We have Desi Freeman. We have, of course, Charlie Kirk. We'll be talking about Nepal. We'll be talking about Manchester hotels. We'll be talking about the Maidan. We'll be talking about things going on in Long Beach. We'll be talking about Lukashenko and the Americans starting to get quite fun together. We'll be talking about the Hilton Hotel on this day, 9/11, obviously, as far as we're concerned. We'll be talking about Charlie Kirk's predictions, and we'll be talking about Ursula von der Leyen. We'll be talking about the 500 mercs that are trapped somewhere. We'll be talking about the drone story and everything that has gone on with that, because there are some quite crazy things. We'll be talking about China helping to arm Venezuela. And, of course, we'll be talking about the mental ploy of Irina's killer to try and get away from the electric chair. All that is to come in the next few hours. Now, very, very simply, we're going to start with something, as Paul just rightly pointed out there. We're going to start with this. We've got Donald Trump saying the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had shall we say, the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. It certainly upset a whole host of people. And, of course, this is a point where Charlie Kirk was never aggressive. I mean, he might chew someone out, in terms of verbally, but he pretty much used to win those battles. He always used to turn around and say, in fact, let's have a look at him saying about debate, because he always used to say that the best thing in the world to do when you are, shall we say, in this position is to go and debate things, Paul. And, of course, the trouble is, of course, for that, we have a major problem with that.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assault, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, we've got to talk about this a little bit, because, of course, we've got this guy being, obviously, what's happened to him. Quite disgraceful, really, because he was not he might have been a divisive figure to some, but he certainly wasn't harming anybody, was he?
No, he wasn't harming them. He might have harmed them when he pointed out when their arguments failed and actually they were being irrational rather than rational. But he was always courteous. He was always courteous. There's videos of him calming his audience down so the person can compose themselves so they can actually carry on their chat or their debate, whichever way you want to call it. I'm sorry, but just because you don't like the man because you don't like what he believes in doesn't give you the right to kill him.
No, that's absolutely right. Now we are going to be showing in this broadcast some things that might actually make you wince a little, and they're just with the only reason we're showing is not for graphic quantity or anything like that. We're just using it to point out some things that a lot of people have come out with that are basically nonsense, and of course this doesn't help catch his killer. When people are talking about all sorts of crazy things. Now, obviously, Charlie Kirk, people, the very first thing we'll deal with is Charlie Kirk turns to anti-Semitic stereotypes amid Hamas war, and this was written by Justin Horowitz. There's a lot of people out there turning around and saying Turning Point USA founder and right-wing radio host Charlie Kirk was possibly taken out by Israel. Nothing could be further from the truth. Anybody believing that nonsense for 1 second? Of course, there is, if you think for 1 second that given what Israel have just done in Qatar, that they're then going to turn around and block their copybook even further. Now, don't get me wrong, Israel are capable of all sorts of nasty and horrible, horrible things. But stupidity isn't one of them. Mark Chamberlain. Mark?
Yeah, sorry. It's just ludicrous. I mean, the bloke wasn't aggressive. He wasn't, and I just wanted to say, like, I'm gobsmacked because I quite like the fella, and he had a good relationship with God, shall we say? I'm literally gutted on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call. Mark Breckle.
Well, again, do you remember Texas Bentley? He was very outspoken about America when he did an interview down in the Donbass. But what I can't understand, because I don't really know a lot about him, because I do a lot on Russia. But the thing was, I think that the pro-Israel side of him, I think that saved him. But again, with you being so outspoken, you're definitely a target, aren't you?
Yeah, you sort of paint the target. You do paint the target on your back, but it shouldn't be that way.
No.
Very simply, when they start doing that sort of thing, Paul Brooker, the craziness of people, that's got to calm the hell down now, hasn't it?
It has, and let's not forget, people are still firing off the hip with their comments, with the stuff that they're finding. This needs digesting. And someone said to me once that, you should never give an answer straight away. You should always think about it, because otherwise all you're doing is you're feeding a frenzy. Now, I'm waiting until the shooter is picked up, which I hope he will be picked up.
Yeah.
And I hope that gun-ho feds and all the rest of it don't just gun him down, because he needs to have his day in court. We need to hear what is actually going on so that we're not all just throwing theories around, that we actually know what the hell is wrong. Because I'm sorry, but we know very little about the shooter at the moment. We do have some images and stuff, which I'll show you in due course, but we know very little. They found a gun, they found possibly some ammunition, and the guy's on the run. That's pretty much all we know at the moment.
Okay. Eric Jones.
People have to understand in America, he's not a rabid Zionist per se, because he supports Israel. He's one of the Bible, that believes in the Genesis theory. That's all. He is not a rabid Zionist by any sense of the mean. So please don't mistake him for one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into a little bit of this then. This guy isn't the same as Trump. Now, there is a lot to worry about the Butler assassination, okay, or the Butler assassination attempt. There is conspiracy over conspiracy over conspiracy there that needs to be looked into. Not so with this guy, okay? Let's have a little look at this. Now, the moment the shot's fired, there's your guy making his way off the roof, Paul. And of course, it was the perfect place. We're talking about probably about 200 yards away, something like that. And of course, go on.
Sorry, I've got some more footage of this guy moving around. If you would like me to just slot it in now while we're...
Yep, no problem.
We're just on that. So this has been released as well. Obviously, there's a bit of your footage in there, Warren, and then there's some extra.
Now have footage of the monster who took the life of Charlie Kirk. The people who took this video, I'm assuming, were on their way to Charlie's event when they stopped because they saw a man laying down on top of a campus rooftop. They said they saw him get on the roof from the other end and immediately run across and lay down in the position he is in now. Here's another video from inside of a building in the direction where Charlie is facing, and I want you to pay attention to this corner right here where immediately after the suspect opens fire and people start panicking, the suspect flees and runs away. An FBI director, Kash Patel, confirmed the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with FBI. We will provide...
Sorry, that last little bit, that was earlier on today.
Yeah.
That suspect's been released.
He has. And just to tidy that up, they are turning... Well, I will get to it in a second. Mark Reckle.
Well, I want to clarify something here now, Warren. The FBI have released a photo of the suspect, which Paul has shown. And right underneath this, the international LGBT movement is recognised as an extremist organisation in Russia.
Yeah, okay.
So that just shows you, like you were saying, about everything about LGB, how violence and everything.
Well, we'll get into that a bit because it's a very important point. I was one of the few, I suppose, one of the few people who were saying, look, you only need to look at what Charlie Kirk talks about to find out where you're going to get these people. And of course, we only talked about the shooters the other day. They're inclined to do it. And of course, this was a moment Charlie Kirk was rushed to hospital.
Stop, folks! Stop! Back up! Easy! Amy, go!
Right, now, there was a lot of nonsense that came out, and we're going to tidy this up for you. Charlie Kirk was dead before he reached hospital, okay? There are many, many people out there going to tell you completely different. Go and talk to surgeons. Go and talk to doctors. Now, we're going to give you this little diagram here so you can have a look. Now, there is the carotid artery, okay? Now, the bullet has hit that. Literally, once that artery is hit, once that carotid artery is hit, unless you receive pretty immediate attention, okay, you are going to bleed out in no time whatsoever, okay? We are now going to show you a video, and it is not a very tasteful or very nice video whatsoever. So if you don't want to watch it, give yourself 20, 30 seconds. Now, here comes the video. We slowed it right down. You can clearly see it hitting the breastplate and then a split second later going up into the neck area. Just going to take that back again.
Oh yeah, so you can see it, can't you?
Yes. So that is hitting. That is literally hitting his breastplate and ricocheting off. Now, that's bad body armor because it should absorb the bullet. And of course, it's not going to kill you, but you should go flying backwards and everything else, but you should still be alive. You'll have the wind knocked out of you, feel like you've been punched in the solar plexus. But that's not great armor if it's bouncing off it, because it can ricochet and go absolutely anywhere. But here's the thing. If you're a pro, and this is another thing we need to tackle, if you're a professional sniper, and in this area I really do know what I'm talking about, from 200 yards, I could teach anybody that is watching this today in a week to kill somebody with the right weapon to hit that target. It wouldn't be difficult at all. A professional would not have gone for a public figure in the heart or the chest, for the simple fact that they pretty much will be guaranteed to be wearing body armor. As a sniper from 200 yards, I can see your teeth. Now, what I'm looking to do is go through either your eye socket or go through your mouth to take out the brain stem at the back, because then what happens is that the rest of everything shuts down. Everything shuts down. Your body, it's like if you cut yourself. If you cut yourself, you think, oh, I'm hurt. Your brain goes, oh, I'm in pain. It hurts. And everything in the body works independently to go and fix that area. Pretty much the same thing. When you take out the brain, you take out any messages to the body. Mark Onza, Sean Murphy. Mark Onza.
Yeah, Warren, first thing to say, obvious thoughts and prayers to love to his family and people who knew him. Second thing I want to say regarding what you're talking about, I'm absolutely pissed off at seeing videos of people claiming you're wearing a blood pack or it's an actor. I'm sick and tired of hearing it's part of a movie. This is not a movie. People are dying with family. Can you reiterate how the bullet hit his chest and went up into his neck? Because I'm trying to put people straight with their opinion, which everybody has, and I could be wrong. I'm not seeing a blood pack explode. I'm seeing a man die from a ricochet or a bullet.
You can see there where it's hit. There is no mark in the neck whatsoever. Okay. This here is a mini mic in case the very first one packs up. Okay. And the second part here, you can see there is nothing there. It has gone into his chest and then it goes up into the neck. Okay. This is not a blood pack, as Mark Onza is saying. This is a guy who's literally taken a ricochet off the body armor and it's gone into his neck. Unfortunately, it's hit the carotid artery, and that guy is dead before he gets to the hospital. Now, I know everybody turned around and said he's breathing and everything. Bullshit. Go and ask surgeons, okay? And I'm telling you straight, I have seen on the battlefield these wounds time and time again. Paul and I called it, and in fact, many people that are part of the show here who have been ex-soldiers and everything else called it that he was not going to survive that. Paul Brooker called it. I called it. People who are here and talking now called it. Sean Murphy and then Paul Brooker.
Well, Warren, that body armor is look very much like it was steel plate body armor, which is actually it didn't look as though it was big enough to begin with. It was the wrong size because of the weight involved, etc. And the reason the round probably went through it or clipped the edge of it was because it's only designed for quite close range, up to about 9 millimeters. A 9 millimeter round, it will probably stop, or certainly they'll get a very nasty bruise on the inside part of the armor. But that looks like that armor was totally insufficient for what it was. And certainly I've seen gunshot wounds with exit wounds, and that looked like a high velocity rifle round. Because of the size. If it would have been a low velocity one, the exit wound would have been much bigger. And you could see the size of the exit wound was actually, though it looked big, it wasn't big. And that means it was a high velocity, say something like a 303 or 7.62 round that caused the exit wound.
Okay. Mark Chambers.
And I've seen them physically, literally seen them.
Yes, I know you have. Mark Chambers.
You know, with the footage that you've got, can you predict where
Yes.
the shooter came from? Can you? And because to me, it looks like it's being fired upwards and not downwards. Because if he
No,
was on a roof, is it
it's
an
not.
optical illusion or something?
It's just
'Cause
an optical illusion. It's on a downward trajectory, and then it's hit the plate, and it's just deflected off. That's all it is.
Right. Okay.
Now, if the plate is at an angle, it's just going to skim off it. Really, the best vest will absorb the bullet and not let it back out, and will still stop the bullet inside. So it's not great stuff. Let's put it. What he was wearing, Sean Murphy is completely right. What he was wearing was not fit for purpose.
Yeah,
Andy.
it certainly wasn't Kevlar, which would
Okay,
absorb the
thank you.
impact.
Yeah. Andy.
Yeah, I was just going to say it seems like it's an ill-fitted suit, you know, because it's going to be riding up near his neck.
Yes.
So if it's basically clipped the top edge of it, it's obviously done what you've said.
Yes. Now we're going to have a little look at another angle of something, and we're going to tidy something else up for you. Now, you can see these two men in the background. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going out and about there about these two guys in the background, one in the baseball cap there and that one there. Now, don't pay any attention to Charlie. Pay attention to these two guys here, please.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Okay, now we see the reaction of those guys, and we're going to have a closer close-up. I am going to get this done. We're going to have a closer close-up here of what is going on with these guys, because there is, once again, a lot of nonsense surrounding this going on. So I was messaged by a guy, said, okay, Clever Clogs, tell me why these guys are signalling. Let's have a look. Now, they're signalling not to the shooter, okay? That's highly likely, right? They are not going to be on that stage giving a signal to the shooter directly behind Charlie Kirk where everybody in the world can see them. Are you quite crazy? Very, very simply, what they will be is they will be people who were literally pointing other people out in the crowd. So it might well be that you've got an operative in the crowd. You'll touch the, here you go, the guy with the baseball cap and the earring, watch him, okay? Really, really straightforward, and there are people out there making all sorts of silly judgments on this. Those two guys there, if they were in on this, they'd be arrested in no time. Please, stop doing that. Mark Breckle.
Yeah, I was just wondering that, because I've seen that doing it in horse racing events.
Yes.
And obviously for buckets. Yeah, that's what I was wondering what you're meaning.
That's it. It's not a day out of Kempton races. Paul Brooker, your thoughts on what we've just gone through?
I think you're absolutely right there, Warren. And do you know what? I couldn't see the ricochet till you managed to slow that down. And you can just see the black mark, obviously the scorch mark, where it burns the T-shirt before it bounces up. Yeah. And those two guys, do you know what? For a split minute, I thought maybe they were something to do with it. And then and as you just said, this was earlier on today, obviously, when we were talking. And then you said, why would they be right at the front, in front of every video camera, all pointing at Charlie, doing signs to say shoot him? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make common sense. So they're probably part of his security team doing hand signals to other people.
That's what they are. They're going, there you go, guy with the earring and a baseball cap. It's really, really straightforward. Now, here's the... these are the sort of things you'd know if you've done close protection or you were, you've worked in the areas that we have. Andy,
can you just clarify? There is no exit wound, is there?
We believe the bullet was taken out whilst it was there. No, there's no exit wound at all. It's ricocheted and gone straight into the.
Yeah, it goes straight in, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly that. Which is even worse. If it goes clean straight through, then it's a lot easier. Now, there's other nonsense as well to clear up. This lunacy, Paul Brooker. Charlie Kirk, did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it. It's a movie, folks. We're watching a movie created by none other than the White Hats and our great military. This all makes sense when the movie ends and the EBS comes out on every screen, every radio, every phone. You're talking absolute rot, okay? Stop it. It's not helping anybody whatsoever. And the people in the chat who were getting angry about that earlier on, I just did want to clear that up because Mark Chamberlain wanted that. Mark Onza wanted that to be, to be tidied up. So to recap then, very simply, you're not looking for a professional shooter. What you are looking for is somebody with a grievance or an agenda. Then you only have to walk through what Charlie Kirk used to do. You're talking Democrats, you're talking lefties, you're talking trans, and let's not forget that the psychopathy of these people is far more savage. Many of these people have tried to be something completely different, and of course, when they can't accept themselves for what they are, and you won't accept them, you're the one that gets the blame. Paul Brooker, we have now, and it's only just started coming out, hasn't it? That this should we say, all sorts of nonsense has come out about the, should we say, the arrests and everything else, and they've let them go. Let's just have a little look at this first of all. This was Fox with their nonsense. It wasn't just people on the internet. It was actual Fox News. Listen to this. This idiot here trying to tell everybody that he was a professional shooter.
Well, when you take a look at the video and you take a look at the venue and the spectators and how close they are to Charlie Kirk, and then you have that kind of like umbrella over him, that kind of tent, you have to know that this shooter had to be perched in a position with respect to being able to lay his sights perfectly, basically a headshot. And the shot that was taken to immediately incapacitate Charlie Kirk. And so this was not some amateur who just, got up on a rooftop because it was, what I consider spontaneous combustion. He got up this morning and decided he was going to do something crazy. This seems the earmark of a professional that got up onto this rooftop.
He is not a professional. You're talking nonsense. And I'll give you, for instance, now there are snipers and there are snipers. There are many people out there that call themselves a sniper. You would not go for that shot. First of all, the heart is a smaller organ, smaller target than the head. You are 200 yards away. Your only concerns, if you're a sniper, is your getaway and can you shoot from cover, okay? That is your only two concerns. The shot is easy. You've been trained to do it for many, many years. And many people go, oh, well, I'd go for centre mass. No, you wouldn't. On a public target, on a soldier, you would go for a headshot. One, you're trained to do it and it's dead easy. Two, you can't miss. And three, you've got a much bigger target. Paul Brooker.
I don't know anything about shooting, Warren, so I'm going to defer to somebody who knows a bit more than me. We have seen a lot coming out on the news platforms and everything. I mean, no more so than what MSNBC said. Someone said on that. I don't know if you've got that video, Warren. If not, I'll just say what it is.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
There we are. So he was turning around and basically trying to blame Trump supporters or Charlie Turning Point supporters for doing that, and they had to come out and apologise, Paul Brooker.
Oh, don't blame. I can't believe they let that bloke say what he said. If he didn't know, he should have said he doesn't know. Just be honest. Don't try and make something up about that, because that's phenomenal what he said. A supporter in a crowd shooting guns off. Really? In this day and age? That thing doesn't happen like it used to. This isn't the Wild West. But, yeah, so there's been a lot going on. And do you know what? I'm not kicking off at anybody who said anything about this at the moment, because everybody's firing off the hip. Nobody realised quite how loved this man was until he's now not with us. And, calmer thoughts need to prevail, because angry thoughts are coming. And trust me, I'm starting to go into my angry phase. And I'm peeved off that we have... It's like bowing down to your child, knowing that eventually they're going to become spoiled. But we've done this with the left. We've given them so much rope that now they're hanging us with it.
Yeah, exactly that. You're quite right. Mark Breckle.
Well, again, he's all over social media. He's got a beautiful wife, 2 lovely kids.
Yes.
You know, it's criminal to do that to someone just cause they got it, you know, for freedom of speech. It's not right.
Because they disagree with you. There's an absolute idiot out there, Ukraine supporter, and of course Charlie was against the Ukraine. Of course, who turned around and said that this wasn't me. I didn't tweet this out there. Well, how did it manage to get out on your page then? He said, convince you that millions of Ukrainians in the occupied territories should be genocided, and you're telling me to be sympathetic. I'm happy to lose my entire follower base over this. This is this horrific chap, Richard Woodruff, who literally raises money for the Azov battalions or the neo-Nazis. Let's hope that everybody remembers him when it comes round to it. And of course, we had shooters arrested, didn't we, Paul, and then released and all sorts of crazy things like that. There was, and of course, there's more and more coming out. Now, we don't know much more than this, but let's have a look at what they're telling us. We've just managed to get hold of some of these things. Here we go.
We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people.
So there we are. So he's telling us that, of course, they've managed to find. Now, if they've got the footprint, very much, high caliber, high velocity, whatever, if they've got the footprint, first of all, that's the size of the shoe down. They'll be able to nail this guy or wrap him up, should be fairly quickly in terms of what he's doing. Now, let's get on to this bit where we did try to tell people this. This is from Louder with Crowder, but it's also now being reported by the Wall Street Journal. I'm just going through this because I've only just got hold of this. Conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed today. The Utah Valley in Utah. Mr. Kirk was speaking at the University of the part of the American Comeback Tour. Multiple SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus. And from, as I say, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model Mauser .30.6 caliber bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel on a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered, in addition to 3 unspent rounds in the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted, and ATF SLC is working. Leads generated by the trace, firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI for DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest have been contacted or detained because of eyewitness testimony and footage. Review of the video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting in the investigation with multiple other federal, state, and local partners, and the case is now being co-led by the FBI and the Utah SBI. Now, that was broken by Louder with Crowder. That was then picked up, and of course, the same thing is coming out from the FBI now. We turned around and said, look, very, very straightforward. We knew that these people were going to do this. And of course, people will say, no, no, no. It's different to the Trump. The Trump guy wasn't the shooter. Okay, you can't miss from 150 yards. This guy didn't miss. Everybody wants to find a different dark reason. This guy, as if transgender, shall we say, psychopathy isn't a dark enough reason for it. Paul Brooker, you've got some. I'm going to hand over to you now because you've got all sorts of things, haven't you? Because if you want to, just before I hand over to you, if you want to look at this trans and everything else, you want to look for a darker reason, look at what they're pushing in the schools. Look at what they're pushing in the colleges. Look at what they're doing to people in universities and things like that make people behave in this manner. Okay? That is the real darkness here. Mark Breckle and then Paul.
Well, again, they're mentioning this Antifa, aren't they? That's a massive problem, especially in Britain at the moment, isn't it? So it's pretty much all connected, isn't it, now?
And it is very much, and it is just before I hand over, Paul, very much, you saw the last trans shooter writing all sorts of stuff on his cartridges and everything else. This is what they're doing. They're trying to get their message across there. Paul Brooker, you've got some you've got more stuff, and you've also got some on the actual photographs of the guy, haven't you?
Yes, I have, Warren. So just finishing off the point of the gun, somebody on X has released the photo of the gun. Now, I haven't fully verified this, so I am stating that now, but this is supposedly the gun that was used that they've recovered at the scene or in the woods. So, yeah. I don't know guns, so you will have to excuse me. If someone says that is definitely not the gun, then that's fine.
That looks like one to me.
Yeah. So,
looks like a Mauser to me. On you go.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah. On you go, Buck.
Yeah, I'm just finding the picture now, which I have mysteriously closed. Obviously, just to reiterate, I did show this earlier on in the show, but just again, this is the suspect they are looking for. So they did say that they've got some very good CCTV images of the suspect. I'm sure there's better photos out there, but this is the guy they're looking for currently at this moment in time. So, yeah, it's one of them. He definitely looks like he doesn't want to be seen. I can say that.
Yeah. You will find it, I think, when they actually grab hold of this guy. What you have to remember is when you get these most of these gunmen and stuff like that, when we've got people flying off in all directions and with on private planes and stuff like that. If you're doing it, and this is why Butler, and everybody can get annoyed about Butler. If you're doing it, and you are, should we say, an entity like an Israel or somebody who doesn't want, military industrial complex, deep state, this guy isn't walking around. He's dead. You don't even know who he is. And like with Butler, if the guy's on the roof, he's as dead as a doorknob. He's as dead as Kelsey's nuts. Okay, but the guy who took the real shot is already gone, and he's probably dead as well. You're never going to find them. This guy, he's out there. Paul.
Yeah. Right, and also Trump has made an announcement about Charlie Kirk today, so we need to play that.
And an inspiration. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
So Charlie Kirk is going to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That was what Trump announced there. Obviously, Turning Point USA has made an official announcement as well. It is with a heavy heart that we confirm that Charles James Kirk has been murdered by a gunshot that took place during Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour campus event at Utah Valley University on September the 10th, 2025. May he be received into the merciful arms of our loving Saviour, who suffered and died for Charlie. We ask that everyone keep his family and loved ones in your prayers. We ask that you please respect their privacy and dignity at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that brings my roundup of what I have on Charlie Kirk, Warren. Unless you've got anything else to add.
Nobody? No. All I am going to add is that we have had 5 out of 6 of the last shooters, mass event shooters or high-profile shooters, have been trans. 8 out of 13 in all. This is something that has been pushed by the deep state. You know, there's people going, oh, the deep state are responsible. God, yes, they are. Because they push this agenda. And what is happening is the very institutions, schools, colleges that are pushing this are seeing this revisited on them by the people they've turned into these absolute, what can I put it, psychopaths. It's as simple as that, you know. And their rage and their anger at not being accepted by you is an excuse for the rage and the anger they feel because they failed at everything they've ever tried to do. And the fact that they tried to change themselves and couldn't accept themselves means that they're mentally ill. And the more we just keep going round saying, well, it's perfectly okay, nonsense. These people are hurting people, and they're hurting the most vulnerable people in the world, your kids. Not the same with Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk was getting to the youngsters. He was turning them around. He was making them see that this is not correct. What you're being taught by these colleges and schools is nonsense, and people were beginning to fight back. That's why they silenced him. Oh.
Couldn't agree more, Warren. Couldn't agree more. Now, I'm going to step this up because I feel like we need to now lift the energy of the room.
Yep.
We're going to look at the UK top 5 policing moments because I think we could all do with a laugh right now.
Call yourself police force. No force in you. I have to believe that you may be in possession of drug.
What?
Yes, I got the belief that you may be in possession of drug.
Are you even an officer?
Stop being rude and just listen to him.
That's why I want to search you.
What's your name first before you search? Man?
I want to search you under section 23.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this doing! God damn it! Yo, fresh out of primary school. Yo!
Anything in your pocket?
Now you can. Yeah.
What?
You.
Okay, what's in your pocket?
You in my pocket. That's causing me harm. Get out my fucking trousers.
What's in there?
My leg. What else is in there?
I'm not saying you're aggressive.
He said I'm aggressive.
Excuse me. He?
You. Yeah.
I'm a female police officer, and I find that offensive.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
What do you mean, what am I going to do?
What are you going to do?
I find that rude.
It seems like a really stressed out bloke.
I felt like we all just needed a little bit of humour just to keep us going tonight. And my next one, and I'm just staying on the theme of the police just for a minute, because do you know what? I want a friend like this.
Wait, trying to run him in.
Man, these boys here with the crowbar, breaking them out. Tag your boy that I'd break you out if you were in there themselves.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he just got him out. Oh my god.
Oh, he still has the handcuffs on.
Oh my god.
Nah, quick getaway, quick getaway. Bro, his boss is gonna be pissed. Mate, do you really think that after they break out, they're gonna stay around the area and hop on a roof? Come on. You're smarter than this. Mate, they're long gone. They're long gone. Bro, he's stressing. He's definitely stressed. Bro, I even forgot to close the doors. He's driving off like doors closed. Give it up for the officer. Give it up for him.
One of them, isn't it? I'll bet straight back and get the hacksaw blade out.
Yeah. Do you know what, though? I want a friend like that. I mean, that is a friend who will stop at nothing to help you out.
Somebody comes and breaks you out like that. Top guy.
Yeah. Right, my next story. McDonald's using AI to process hiring applications. Might have used a weak password.
McDonald's AI hiring platform just leaked the data of 64 million job applicants. And you know why? Their admin password was literally 123456. McDonald's uses an AI chatbot called Olivia to screen job candidates. She asks you about your availability, shift preferences, and then apparently saves it all in an unprotected database that literally anyone can grab. Researchers cracked it immediately. Once inside, they found you could just change a single number in the URL to see the next applicant's data, contact info, personality tests. I've spent so long worrying about what if superintelligence takes over and kills us. I've never thought about the dangers of what if our artificial intelligence is actually an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just can't make it up, can you? You
you
really can't. Right, my next one is, and it's one that annoys me because this is not what charities should be about.
Oh yes, I've seen this.
Staged.
Yeah. And then they take the food back off the child.
Yep, they're taking it back. Moving on to the next one to get the next set of photos.
Just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's shocking. And do you know what? This does make serious damage to the real charities because they do exist. Dare I say it, they're not the big megacorps that are charities these days. Yeah. But they do exist and they do good work. But the problem is there's no checking of these charities. There's no checking they're doing what they say and what their books say. Because I can tell you right now, if a charity will not show you their books, they are up to something. Full stop.
Yes.
That's the truth.
I think you're absolutely right.
And then we need to talk about something that happened in the UK. And it's to do with a scooter, a mother and a child.
Caught on camera, a shocking scooter clash in Stamford Hill has people everywhere talking. A man's aggressive move against a woman walking with her child is sparking outrage and raising urgent questions about public safety. CCTV footage from Stamford Hill, London, has gone viral, showing a shocking street confrontation that's left people stunned. In the video, a man is seen forcing his electric scooter into a woman who was simply walking with her young child. The disturbing moment shows him striking her with the scooter just to clear his way. Bystanders reacted immediately. One person bravely confronted the man, only to be chased off moments later. The tension in that moment shocked everyone watching, both on the street and later online. After the clip spread across social media, police confirmed the man had been arrested at his home. But here's what shocked people even more. He was released shortly afterward. Why? That's still unclear, and it's left the public demanding answers. This isn't just about one man and one incident. It's about something much bigger. How safe do people really feel on our streets? What's your reaction? Should more be done to protect families in public spaces? Comment below and join the discussion.
Surely it's assault, isn't it?
100% it's assault. I mean, he didn't allude there to what the real reason was. Why he hasn't been charged and probably should be in prison. But I guarantee you, if he was white, he'd be in prison.
It wouldn't be the fact that he's black, would it?
You tell me. But that was pretty open and shut, wasn't it, Warren?
I would have thought so. Mark Breckle?
Black and immigrant.
Yep. Yeah, it could well be. We don't know on that bit, but he certainly looked black to me. Paul Brook.
Right, and my next one is a slide. And we need to look at this because, oh, the G7 are in trouble. So this is the G7 debt problem. So as you can see there, the worst one of them all is Japan. That's the red line. That has just tipped back below 250% GDP to debt. Now this is bad. And just for reference, anything over 100% is extremely bad. Extremely bad. We've got in second place.
That's why Yoshida gave up then, Paul. That's why Yoshida resigned.
Yeah. In second place, we have Italy rocking at about 140% GDP. We've got Britain, I think, next, or France. And then it just carries on down there. But this is bad. This is at a point now where we cannot service our debt. We can't service it. We are literally just paying interest payments at the moment. That's how bad it is.
Can I just say it's going to get worse, Paul? Because I've got a story for you. I'm just going to drop this in here because I think it's important. The Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the EU, is making all sorts of wonderful speeches and everything else. She's just taken out an $8 billion loan. Paul Brooker, do you know what she's putting forward as an $8 billion loan?
Go on.
She's going to use that to make reparations to various people, including Ukraine. But the $8 billion is a loan from the Russian assets against future reparations that she's decided Russia are going to pay.
Oh my word! They couldn't help it, could they, Warren? They could not help it. They needed a way to tap up those funds, and even then,
they've already dipped into it. They've already dipped into it. Froze it, pinched it, froze it, sawn it, seen it, pinched it.
Yeah, and that $7 billion is a drop in the ocean.
Yes,
it's nothing. That is, I don't know, probably a backhander to one of either her or a party or someone she knows. That's not even, dare I say it, going to achieve much.
Here's the thing, though, Paul. They've been turning around and saying that the money that they're taking is the interest on the 300 billion, right? And they've been taking 5 billion here, 3 billion here, 1 billion there, 7 billion there, 4 billion there. How much interest do they actually think comes on 300 billion? Does it suddenly double itself? And you know why they want to put it into a high yield account? Because they've got to try and gamble in the stock exchange, try and get some of that money back before the Russians go, wait, what's my 330 billion? Mark Breckle and then Louis Bastos.
Again, I'm sure she's going to be like playing on the fruit machines to get the money back. But another thing, is it a Swedish woman fainted on the podium?
Oh,
She's
yes.
probably listening to the amount of money that they...
Yeah, no doubt about it. Louis Bastos.
Isn't it a criminal offence to use somebody else's frozen assets?
Oh, stop it. It's Ursula. She can do what she likes.
No,
Louis.
but I'm saying it's a criminal offence.
Louis, how dare you use common sense? And how dare you use the law? This is Europe. They can do what they want.
Sorry, I lost my temper, Paul.
Louis Bastos, honestly, mate, if you don't understand that the European Union is just one corrupt mafia, one of those.
Yes, the problem is there's no justification for anything anymore.
No.
When they're taking Netanyahu as a war criminal, America vetoes it. When they want to do something, people veto it. You can never get anything done today. NATO is not a defense organization. NATO is a troublemaker.
Well, of course it is. They just promised that all that money that she's borrowing from with the Ramstein conference. So they're going to use that $8 billion to send Ukraine thousands and thousands of drones. Sean Murphy.
Well, it's a criminal offence for us, but not for them.
Of course not. Of course not. We can't. When you let's put it this way: when you're up in front of the beak, as Ursula was, and of course over the vaccines, 8 doses for every single person in Europe, and then suddenly she turns around and says, "Well, I'm not going to give you the text messages because they're boring and you wouldn't understand them." Paul Brooker, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, as someone said in the chat there, Eric Jones has said, better start selling those leftover vaccines. Like, they're desperate. They're desperate. The fact that she's now taking money and going, yeah, that's probably about right what they're going to pay in repatriations. Well, hang on a minute. You're spending the money that was supposed to be earmarked for rebuilding now to buy weapons of war. That money's supposed to be used to compensate families, rebuild infrastructure, get the country back on its feet. She's robbing Ukraine in the future.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah. And that's the end of my story. Sorry, Warren.
Okay, let's get into this then, because this is quite spanking. Now, you remember the other day, the whole of NATO had a meltdown because there were drones inside Russia and everything else, and everybody was going quite potty, and we were going to DEFCON 792. One idiot pointed out to me, DEFCON 1's the highest. It was like, really? Do you not understand irony? It was it was quite staggering. So these drones then, so they went into all sorts of fields, and of course NATO had a complete meltdown. Not one of them has been found with the Russian part. No serial numbers, no cameras in them whatsoever. They're basically styrofoam. I call them cardboard, but I know a lot of people get very upset when I do that. But let's call them what they are. They're foam drones. So there we are. There's one of them. And of course they scrambled jets and everything to bring these things down in a mass overreaction. And of course everybody's going, oh yeah, but they're definitely, they can spy on people. I've got news for you. They spy on everybody all the time. And of course, we're also calling it a false flag as well. Here's one that landed on top of a chicken coop. And of course, this was in perfect working order, Paul Brooker. And of course, they found one in a Polish factory, in a Polish airfield, that of course was in pristine condition. On top of that, Paul, they spent $2.8 million taking these drones down. NATO spent $2.8 million in missiles to take these drones out of the air. And it's not like they haven't got form for this sort of behaviour, let's put it that way. And of course, we need to talk about this before we go to Sean Murphy, because we're going to get the whole drone thing done and then everybody can comment it. So we've got the drone Zelensky and Kellogg's caught escalating the conflict, which is our main headline of what we had today. So let's get into this then. Very, very simply, Zelensky, literally before and after, turned around and said that Poland were next and Russia were getting ready to go in there and smash up things in Poland because they were on their way literally on their way to Poland, on their way to Ukraine through Poland. On top of that, Megan Moobs, we all know her, of the, shall we say, the wonderful NGO that repatriates the bodies of Americans fighting in Ukraine and also in Russia, but also across the Polish border. And of course, nothing to see here. Okay, we've just got hers and Zelensky doing that. And then we find out something that's been happening every time there's been a bit of a false flag, Paul Brooker. There's always been a false flag before a dignitary goes and visits. And who happened to be the dignitary this time? Well, it just happened to be Keith Kellogg, Megan Moobs' father, who, excuse me, who just happened to be going to where? To Poland. Nothing to see. I mean, you couldn't make it up if you tried.
Well, you can't make up some of the stupidity of this, but these people genuinely think Joe Public are stupid. Yes. They generally think. No, what it is it's a lack of information that makes the public stupid, because styrofoam drones that most of them landed absolutely perfectly, not smashed into a million bits. Sounds strange in itself. And they've spent money on missiles to take them down. This is bonkers. Why would Russia invade Europe? We've got nothing. There's nothing in Europe. We're out of natural resources. The UK's potless, so there's no point in coming after us. Everyone's broke. Ukraine was the golden goose that was going to help jumpstart, because they've turned resources into such a valuable commodity now. They've created a whole scarcity that doesn't need to be a scarcity with all this renewable energy crap. And, Russia invading Poland, they've got no interest in invading Poland at all.
Sean Murphy.
Well, the comment I was going to make, and Paul sort of touched on it as well, these drones landed in very good condition. The one on the chicken coop, there was absolutely no damage to the drone, and there was no damage to the chicken coop.
Yeah, one of those, isn't it? Paul has to leave us now. Goodbye to Paul. Thank you very much for being part of the show. When we talk about this, though, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's absolutely nothing there. Mark Breckle.
Right, Warren, what's that drone that crashed? What's it called?
Jabara.
Right, well, if you look on the back of the fin, it says in Russian, and it's not actually printed very well, but I translated it, and obviously I'm quite good with the Russian. It would actually translate to a UU drone. Now, that doesn't sound very menacing to me when it says you, and then a serial number.